Swayam Prabha. Digital India. Educated India.
Namaste. Now we move on to the next chapter of Natya Shastra, the 31st chapter, which talks about the Tala Vyanjaka on the time measure. Talo ghana iti proktaha kala pata layanvitaha kalastasya pramanam vai Vigneyam Talayoktribihi. So here, though he talks about the Tala instrument, the Ghana Vadya, actually he starts with how to measure the Tala, the various aspects of measuring the Tala. He says, the instrument called Tala or the Tala is of solid variety, Ghanavadya, and it relates to the division of kalas and to an observation of the tempo, laya. Those who apply talas in musical performance should know about the kalas to be measured in that particular time. That is the Tala. So, Tala and Kala are given here as coordinating, coexisting elements. So, he says the popular Kala with Kashta and Nimesha, which has been accepted by the wise, is not the Kala in observing the Tala. This Kala arising from the Tala is different. He clearly mentions the Laukiki Kala is different from the technical term Kala. It is not Kala, it is Kala. Here, if you see the text, the meaning of Kala in Amarakosha, he says, we have one Kala equivalent to 8 seconds. That is, according to Amarasimha, 18 Nimeshas is equal to 1 Kashta and 30 Kashtas is equal to 1 Kala. So, this is connected with the Kala, which is equivalent to 8 seconds, he says. Bharata adds, 5 nimeshas will make 1 matra, and the Kala arises from the grouping of matras, and 5 nimeshas also to be known as interval between the Kalas. That is, from these again the tempo is made according to the time of Kalas into which the matras are divided. Then he talks about the 3 layas. Trayo layastu vigneya, dhruta madhya vilambitaha. The tempo, the laya, is of 3 kinds. Dhruta, quick; madhya, medium; and vilambita, slow. And among these, the medium tempo determines in the normal pramana Kala. So, this is to be known of 3 kinds, and it is again decided by the 3 margas. So, he says in the Chitra style there should be 3 matras. In the Vritti, the twice of it, that is 6 matras, and in the Dakshina it is 4-fold. So these are the 3 types of kalas. Then he says the tala is so called because its measure of time by the division of kalas. So the tala is again of 2 kinds. According to Bharata, one is Chaturashra and one is Trayashra. So every calculation either falls under the category of Chaturashra, which is multiples of 4, or the calculation of Trayashra, multiples of 3. So then he gives the names for these talas. Tatha yoni dvayam chasyam kirtyamanam nibodata chanchat putastu vigneyo tatha chapaputopicha. So one is called chanchat puta, the other one is chapaputa. From each of these, the tala of 4 or of 2 kalas proceeds. The chanchat puta is known to be Chaturashra and the chapaputa is known to be Trayashra. So we had Chaturashra based chanchat puta and we had Trayashra based chapaputa talas in the ancient category, tala varieties. So now the chanchat puta, he defines chanchat puta as pratamam guruni kritva laghu cha antyam plutam tatha aksharanam niveshena sa tu chanchat putastada. The chanchat puta tala will consist of 2 long syllables, guruni, guru, followed by 1 short syllable, laghu, and the final one will be pluta syllable. So he says the chapaputa, which is Trayashra based, is that where Adau Guruvaksharam yatra Laghuni Guru Chaivahi Trayashraha sa khalu Vigneyas talas chapaputo bhavet. So the chapaputa, which is Trayashra, will consist of 1 long syllable followed by 2 short syllables and finally 1 long syllable. Now there is a mishra, there is a combination. Anayor mishra bhavacha mishrastalaha prakirtitaha. So there is a combination of these 2 which is called mishra, mishratala. Now he talks about the tala. Shatpita putrakaschiva panchapanihi sa cheshyate yathoktair abhinishpannaha swa samya guru laghavaihi samasa yogat taloyam trividaha prakirtitaha. What comes under the variety of mishratala? This includes Shatpita Putrakaha and the Panchapanihi, constituted according to the long and short syllables occurring in their names. These are the 3 kinds of tala. So, Shatpita Putrakaha and Panchapanihi come under the Mishra variety. Next he moves on to the 3 varieties in Chanchat Puta: Sannipatadi, Shamyadi and Taladi. And he says these three varieties of the Chanchatputa will also hold good in the case of Chapaputa. And due to Shamya, Tala and Pravesha, the Trayashra Tala is produced. That is Shatpita Putraka and Panchapani is produced. Thus, he gives varieties of talas such as Chanchatputa, Chapaputa and also the Mishra varieties. Then he talks about the tala in general, two varieties. What are they? Silent one without sound and audible one which is having sound. Dviprakarastvam talo nishabdaha shabdavanstatha prayogam dvividam chasya kirtyamanam nibodata. He says it can be silent tala or audible tala. That is, silent is called nishabda and shabdavan or sashabda is the tala which has sound. So, the silent tala has four varieties such as avapa, nishkrama, vikshepa and praveshaka. Then the tala which has sound, shabdavan, is of four varieties: Shamya, Tala, Dhruva and Sannipata. Then he moves on and explains the hand position and the fingering types, methods for all these talas. It's a very detailed explanation to see. So, how each tala should be performed, he has given. So, here also he concentrates more on the fingering techniques, but not the technique of the Ghanavadya. So, based on this, you have to understand and use the Ghanavadya. How we understand this is, these talas, that is Shamya, Tala and Sannipata, or the three techniques given. Shamya is of the right hand, the Tala is of the left hand, and two hands coming together is Sannipata. So, the placement of the hands and the movements of the hands is given here. When talking about the fingering techniques, he says the talas of 8 kalas will be by the little finger, the Nishkrama, and the Shamya by the little and the ring finger, the Nishkrama, the talas and the Shamya by the middle finger, and Pravesha by the 4 fingers are shown, the Nishkrama and the Sannipata. So, these are the details given by him for each and every presentation of the tala. Now, he moves on to talk about the asaritas, the characteristics of asaritas. They have to first take up the Chanchatputa with its long, short and pluta syllables, and then the two-fold Panchapani. So, these asaritas are the forms of music which has a specific tala pattern given here, and these types of asaritas are to be presented in the Natya, but now these are all obsolete. Some scholars are trying to revive these asaritas, but according to Bharata, it's very clear, and if we understand the techniques of Bharata, it will be easier for working on the research of these asaritas. So, he says, what is an asarita? in each asarita, that is the medium asarita. The combination here, the long syllables, the short asarita will be the medium asarita. That is, on combining here the long syllables, this short asarita will be the medium asarita. So, asarita can be short, medium or lengthy ones. Then he talks about layantarita, the antarita lakshana. That which has the shortest tala is layantarita. The kala differing on account of the time required for it becomes the different kalas. The application of these talas, especially, he says, and in the layantarita there occurs a difference there in words and in tempo. Then he moves on to the technical term called vardhamana. He says, asaritam samyogo vardhamanaka ishyate. So, the combination of asaritas is called as vardhamana. He also gives the story. He says, after killing the terrible Danavas, Rudra invented the beautiful dance called Tandava. Now, the great souled Bhutas created at that time the Vardhamanaka adorned with Pindi Bandhas. So, the Pindi Bandhas, the combinations of Pindi Bandhas are to be presented as in Vardhamanaka. So, on seeing this, Shiva with his consort Parvati was much pleased, and he as well as the goddesses gave them the best boon. What was that? Those who perform the Vardhamana as defined by him according to the traditional rules and order will attain proximity of Shiva. This is the beautiful shloka which talks about the moksha. Tal lakshya lakshana yutam marga yukti vidikramaihi vardhamanam prayoktaro yasyanti shivagocharam. So, we will be reaching the abode of Shiva if we understand the beauty of the Vardhamana which is to be performed along with the Pindi Bandhas in a presentation. Especially these asaritas are performed during the Purvaranga. As we saw in the 5th chapter, the term called Asarita and Vardhamana. And in the 4th chapter, the discussion of Pindi Bandhas were there, and Pindi Bandhas can be the group formations made by the Karanas and the Angaharas. Then he also expands the Asarita. He says, Atalam cha satalam cha tat pramanam dvija smritam Chatashraha kandikas chaiva tavantyaasaritani tu. So, its measure has two aspects. One is atalam, without tala, and another one is satalam, with tala. And there are 4 parts in the asaritas. Kandikas, even now we have the term called kandigai or kandi in Tamil, which is connected with the portions of the songs. So, here there are 4 parts in the asaritas which are known as kandikas. He adds that each part in the dhruva, that is the song, is composed of kalas by gods. The margas are available in the Vardhamana. Then he moves on and talks about the shortest asarita, Pratamam Kandikam. It is a short one. Next one is the medium one. Then comes the long one, long asarita. And then he moves on to the Vardhamana. Vardhamana itself refers to the action of increasing. So we had that increasing of speed. Even now we have, after the first speed, the second speed and the third speed is performed, and the increasing of the avartanas is there. There are 2 avartanas, then 4 avartanas, then 8 avartanas. All these are to be taken from the idea of Vardhamana. He says a song composed of 4 asaritas is called Vardhamana. The Vardhamana is so called because of the gradual increase in it of the syllable, that is the varnas, tala, tempo, laya, the instrumental music and the gestures which leads to the embellishment of the performance of the dancers. So it increases slowly. This is why it is called Vardhamana. Here in this chapter, he gives an example for all these short asaritas. He says how it has to be, and he also gives an example in Sanskrit. He says, Devam Devaihi Samstutam Isham Daityair Yakshaihi Pranamita Charanam Trailokya Hitam Isham Haram Rudram Sharanamaham Upagataha. This is an example for short asarita. The next one is Bhutadipatim Bhaga Netra Haranam Isham Devair Vandyam Suramakha Mathanam Raudram Bhayadam Gajacharma Patam Shambhum Trayaksham Jwalana Nibijatam Bhujanga Parikaram Tridasha Gana Vrittam Daityer Nityam Pari Patita Charitam Amarapati Namitam Abhimata Sukadam Rudram Pitam Pitruvana Nilayam Ganga Plavita Shobhana Jatam Ganga Plavita Shobhana Jatam Tam Sharanam Gatosmi Varadam Cha Maheshwaram. See, this is the medium asarita and it is extended. Same way, there is a longer asarita which has more powerful lines. So these are to be presented according to the tala given by Bharata. Then he adds asaritanam sarvesham trayo bheda prakirtitaha. What are they? There are 3 varieties. Yatha aksharam, dvisankyatam, trisankyatam atapiva. The 3 varieties of asarita are yatha akshara, that is according to the akshara, literal meaning. Dvisankyata, the double idea, double meaning, or trisankyata, which is related to 3 concepts. So the asarita, which is single one, when it is repeated, it is called double asarita. When it is twice repeated, it is called triple asarita. That is the names given by Bharata. So this single, double and triple are to be connected with the repetition of times. So see how we are following this. He says, Nivrittautu kala nyuna yada vastu vashad bhavet. That is when due in the composition of a vastu, that is vastu, the plot, or technically the meaningful substance of the words. A kala becoming wanting at the repetition. If you need more repetitions, then the singer should prolong the varna till this kala is completed. So it should be prolonged. So the needs for repetition are as follows, he says. Either for enrichment of the varnas and alankaras, rest for the producing organs and the application of tattva, etc. We saw about the tattva, vogha earlier. So these are to be taken into consideration. Then he talks about the 4 limbs of Vardhamana. What are they? Vishala, Sangata, Sunanda and Sumukhi. Chatasraha Kandika Nyeya. Vardhamane Prayoktribihi. Vishala, Sangata Chaiva, Sunanda Sumukhi Tata. Then he talks about the kalas relating to each of them. Here the term Upohana is also seen in this particular chapter, where he talks about the preliminary of the songs. So the Upohana of each variety should consist of this much kalas, he mentions. For this variety it has to have this much kalas. So Upohana might be referring to the preliminary humming of the song. So not going into the direct song, before that whatever is sung or even the instrumentation can be connected with this Upohana, because it differs for each variety. Now he also defines the term Upohana, also known as Upavahana. He says, Upohyante swara yasmat geetam pravartate tasmat udo upohanam nyeyam shushkakshara samanvitam. So he says, this, because of this, the notes, the swaras are carried forward, and because of this the songs proceed, and this consists of unmeaningful syllables, and it is called Upohana or Upavahana. Here he also gives some examples, such as some unmeaningful syllables, that is the Sushkaksharas, that is Rum, Dum, Jagati, Avalikadi, Givigiti, Ti, Rila, Richa, Kulatiti, Jagatiti, Va, etc. So these were all some syllables which were recited as Upohana. Or it can also be the musical part, he says, or because of a performance is carried forward by means of acts beginning with Suchana. This song, depending on the musical instruments, is called the Upohana. Atava upohyate yasmat prayogaha suchanadibihi tasmad upohanam hyetad ganam banda samashrayam. One is Sushkakshara samanvitam, the second one is Ganam banda samashrayam. So this is also to be known as Upohana. So it can be humming, it can be the instrumentation, it can be the Sushkakshara, varieties of mnemonic syllables, and all these which is prior, serves as a prelude to the song, is called Upohana. So thus he gives the entire rule for presenting these types of asaritas in a very detailed manner. And then he also talks about the throw of fingers regarding this. What are they? Avapa, Shamya, Nishkrama, Vikshepa, Tala, Avapa, Nishkrama with the ring fingers. All these are given in detail, and for each asarita separately. He also gives the details of the technical terms here. He talks about the pada and the varna, but these need not be confused with the present day terms. So again, talking about the pada, he refers to the words here and the meaningful words connected with the vastu, the plot. As he has mentioned, the vastu also refers to that particular meaningful sentences which is based on a particular theme. So there are padas and varnas connected with that particular theme. Nyasa, apanyasa, etc. is being dealt with in this chapter. Then he moves on to the 7 types of songs. Gita. Gitani sapta madrakol lopyake chaparantakam prakaryo venake chaiva prakaryo venake chaiva rovindaka matotharam. So what are they? Madraka, ullopyaka, aparantaka, prakari, ovenaka, rovindaka and uttara. These are the 7 types of songs mentioned here. Then he says Madhaka is again of 2 varieties. Dvividam madrakam, tatra chaturvastu, trivastu cha. So as I told you, one variety consists of 4 vastus. Connected with the 3 vastus can be connected with our present day Pallavi, Anupallavi, Charanam. There are 3. So like that, there were 3 vastus in one particular song, Madraka song. And the another one had 4 vastus. Then coming to the Aparantaka. In the Aparantaka, how many vastus are to be there? How many vastus or how many shirshakas, how many prakaris, these are all given here. The next one is the Rovindaka type of song. The other one is Ovenaka type of song. The last one is Uttara. So now he again gives the Tala patterns for all these varieties, the Madraka variety. How many Tala patterns should be there? What are all the patterns of Tala seen in Madraka type of song? The Prakari variety. How many Vastus in the Prakari variety? All these forms are not seen. They are all obsolete today. So these have to be revived, and especially based on the text. So it's a beautiful form which is seen here in this text. So if you are able to understand the beauty of these forms, we will be able to either revive or even research the earlier forms which can be connected with these names. Then after explaining all these varieties of songs, he now talks about the lasya. The term lasya was dealt with in the 20th chapter, that is in the Dasharupaka chapter, where Bharata spoke about the lasya angas, the 12 varieties of lasya angas. Here again, Bharata has elaborated on these lasya angas. They are Geyapada, Stitapatya, Asina, Pushpagandika, Prachedaka, Trimudaka, Saindavaka, Dvimudaka, Uttamottamaka, Vichitrapada, Uktaprayukta and Bhavita. These 12 varieties are dealt with here again in relation to Tala. So we can understand that these lasyangas were not only the Abhinaya pieces, were not only connected with the songs through Abhinaya, but there are also elements of Tala. So there were also elements of Nritta which was related to Tala. And here you can see the varieties of these lasyangas, and they are connected with the Nritta element and the tala element and the vadya elements. So this is the beauty of the Lasyangas. He says the Geya Pada is the one where the Nayika sings, and then in the Asina, woman is seated, and in Stapatya she is performing the Bhumicharis, and at the time of dance and of playing of the instruments and at the beginning and closing of the songs, she is performing these Bhumicharis. So they are connected with Nritta and Tala. After explaining all these Lasyangas, he also says about the importance of the Tala. The Tala is so important even in the elements of Lasya, he says. And in this chapter, he brings down all the varieties of talas and the songs, especially the asaritas and the madraka varieties and the 7 types of Gita varieties. Then he talks about the 3 layas, trayo layasya vigneya, dhruta madhya vilambitaha. This is very important. Till now we use the term dhruta, madhya, vilambita. These are the 3 layas given by Bharata himself. Then the 3 yatis are given. Sama, Shroto, Gata, Chaiva, Gopucheti, Yatakramam. According to Bharata, there are 3 yatis. Later, we have added 3 more now. This is the importance of yati here. And the 3 panis are given. The panis relating to the songs and playing of instruments are of 3 types. Samapanyavapanischa tata uparipanikam. Panistu trividho nyeyom ashrayaha. Layena yat samam vadyam samapanihi sayuchyate. So the samapani is where it is in simultaneous start with the laya. That is samapani. Layat avakrishtam tu so avapanistu samyitaha layas tasya upari vadyam syat tatacha upari panikam. Even now we have these types where the instrumentation starts later than the song, that is the talam, or the instrumentation starts later than the song, or the instrumentation or the talam starts before the song commences. So these are the 3 varieties here given as 3 panis. So accordingly, he talks about the 3 panis, 3 layas, varieties of talas, and the asarita varieties, the varieties of Gita, and even the Lasya varieties, all in this chapter of Tala. And finally, he says the talas are very, very important and very intricate ones. There is no provision of kalas bigger than this. Yatis, panis and layas should be observed in due manner by experts after considering the application of songs. Thus, he ends the chapter on Tala and he moves on to the chapter on Dhruvas, which talks about the main element of the songs. So, thus I end this chapter on Tala. Namaste.